Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Sometimes, but I just have a very strong desire for Hispanic, Mexican, Latina. It's just so beautiful.
I just figured I would inform you. Yes, guys, the rumors are true. Believe it or not, Mav does have a, well, I wouldn't call it an OnlyFans, but like a rip-off OnlyFans. It's called a Fansly. Yeah, he has one of those. And yes, guys, he has 2 subscribers, his wife and his left hand. Grown-ass man with a wife and child is sitting here complaining about another grown-ass man because he's jealous as hell. Yo, what's up, guys? How is everybody doing on this, I guess, Halloween weekend and the official start of the November month? I think we all know what that means. Not really too much going on in the drama sphere, so I just figured I would drop another saga on the CoryxKenshin drama with MavAttack and Panda Ninja because, let's be real, the situation has finally come to an end. You guys might have seen the first saga video that I put out. Well, I think it's safe to say that this is going to be the part 2 to that saga because I had to come back and post some update videos on the situation that have in total contributed around 2 hours of more content from the drama. So because of this, I decided let's drop this saga, the part 2, and let's get some more eyes on the updates that I have put out within the past month that you most likely have not seen yet. And even if you have seen these videos, feel free to put this on in the background while you're working or while you're doing homework or distracting yourself from gooning, given the month. I'm sorry, that was kind of ridiculous, but anyways, highly doubt we're gonna have to make any more update videos to this drama. Drama in general in the community has been a little bit slow as of this weekend, so just to keep the content rolling, I decided to compile all of these updates and everything into this part 2 saga. So without further ado, let's get into it. So MavAttack just posted another video recently, once again using Cory's name for money and clout, and you guys just won't stop. It's crazy how many people who claim to be CoryxKenshin fans just don't listen to Cory. You're pushing 40 and you're letting another grown man live rent-free in your head. LMAO, D-riding to the max. Wrap it up, bro. To everyone in the comments section, didn't Cory specifically say not to engage in any harassment or bullying if it involves his name? Because I don't think any of you were paying attention to a damn thing Cory said, and that's fucking sad. Shows how much you support Cory, huh? What Cory said was to not engage, and you are clearly engaging, sir.
Sometimes, but I just have a very strong desire for Hispanic, Mexican, Latina. It's just so beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna be the realest motherfucker and say, who gives a flying fuck? Why was this posted to the internet? Okay, so I know that we're getting a little bit better at this, but like, guys, we need to just stop. If you're like a CoryxKenshin fan watching this video right now, just please, for the love of God, unless you're making content like me, stop engaging with these people. Stop going over to their videos. Stop going into the comment section saying things like, if you ever feel pathetic, remember this guy exists. Well, here's the thing. I mean, he's gonna continue to be pathetic, especially if you keep commenting on his videos, because that's what he wants. Even if it's not something that, you know, is in favor of him, you're still giving his video attention. I've said this before in previous videos. You're giving his video attention. Any engagement on his video is going to tell YouTube, hey, the people like it, and keep promoting it around. And he's going to make more and more money off of these videos using Cory's name for views. Like, some of you guys have such a huge problem with Mav and, you know, Panda Ninja continuing to make content about Cory, even though the situation, I mean, that happened weeks ago at this point and people are starting to move on, but you guys refuse to fucking move on. And honestly, I'm going to tell you to do something right now, because I have a feeling that a lot of people, since, you know, people have checked out MavAttack's channel and whatnot, at this point, I mean, honestly, when you get a recommendation from like MavAttack or any of these people who are trying to hate on him, anybody who's trying to be disingenuous and is only trying to get clout off of Cory, people who have done him wrong, go hit the 3 dots on the video and hit don't recommend channel. If that's what you need to do, you might as well do it, because that's how you start shutting him down. Leaving comments saying, oh, he's pathetic, like that's not going to do anything but help him. That's what he wants. If you ever get a video from any of these people, just hit do not recommend the channel. Now, I don't plan to make this video very long. I just wanted to come on here and make this update because it's just truly pathetic. I mean, okay, let's be real. MavAttack posting like the best moments videos, continuing to milk Cory for money. That's pathetic, but you want to know what's even more pathetic? I mean, just even giving him any attention, because the reason why these videos get views is because people pay him attention and they fall for the rage bait. Essentially, that's what's happening here. He's profiting off of, you know, getting a reaction and triggering Cory fans to click onto his videos. We know these guys are not serious. We know nothing serious has ever came from them. So why the hell are you gonna sit here and pay them any attention? That's my question. Like, are you making money? Because that's the only reason why I'd be like, hey, pay them any attention, click on their videos, whatever the fuck you need to do, because that's what I've been doing. I mean, I haven't been like spam clicking it, but I've been like checking out what's been going on, because I mean, if I can make some content and make like a quick buck off of this, I will. Like, that's the only case I would understand like engaging in any way with this guy's video, because I'm pretty sure most of you guys are just viewers, you're Cory fans. I would like to say most of you guys have normal lives, normal jobs and whatnot. Like, you guys are not making money off of like participating and leaving comments on MavAttack's videos or putting out your own content. So why the fuck are you over there? Do you think you're getting an own on him or something by leaving a comment when it really is actually doing the opposite? Like, I'm just trying to understand it, okay? Because you really don't have to be engaging with this content. And something that MavAttack doesn't want you to know, like I said earlier, is if you start like hitting the do not recommend channel or this video buttons, that hurts him more than leaving a comment. So how about let's start doing that, and let's never go back to the MavAttack channel if we're not making money off of covering it. How about that? I think that's a great plan. And a lot of you guys want to be like, well, Breone, you're still giving him attention and you're not listening to what Cory said about, you know, do not engage. Am I really engaging? I mean, I am in terms of making videos on them, but is anybody coming to my video? I mean, maybe there's a few, but is anybody coming to my video and then just going straight to MavAttack's channel? Like I said, there's probably a few people that do that, but there's more people that come to my channel for my coverage, and they come to hear what I have to say. They come to my channel to hear updates because they know if they watch my channel, I'll be covering all of the recent stuff and everything you need to know. And if you really think about it, just having one person cover it and go through everything instead of having everybody just go to MavAttack's channel is just going to be better. Like, please guys, let's stop leaving comments. Let's stop leaving dislikes. I mean, we've talked about in previous videos, I mean, even hitting the dislike button, you would think that, hey, maybe, you know, that would hurt his video. No, it doesn't. It helps it out. YouTube a long time ago changed it from, hey, the dislikes actually make the video do worse in the algorithm, to if you get any interactions on your video, a subscription, a like, a dislike, a comment, even if you click on somebody's video, like, you're just telling YouTube that, hey, I want to see more of this, and there might be more people out there that are going to enjoy this or at least want to engage with it. Therefore, YouTube is going to give his videos more impressions meaning like, you know, the amount of times that they show it and they recommend it, right? And they're going to continue to push his content because we have people who are not thinking before they leave comments or even click on his videos. Like, if you know anybody who's been just engaging with MavAttack's videos to this day, please send them this video. They need to hear it because they're just helping him out. They're just being counterintuitive here. Like, I wanted to say that because I just recently came across his channel again, and he's still getting views off of Cory's name because people are stupid enough, like the Cory fans are stupid enough to just go over and give him attention, the attention that he's looking for. That's why every video is about Cory. That's why every video is just rage bait, because even negative attention is good attention, especially for MavAttack, who is literally just the villain in this scenario. Now, anyways, I guess besides the rant on, you know, people still going over to MavAttack's channel, I just figured I would talk about and give a few more updates on Panda, because Panda just cannot leave this alone either. And I'd rather you guys watch my video versus you going over to their channels and giving them attention, the attention that they don't deserve. I think we can already tell where she's going with this. I don't think it's that deep, by the way. And we can't stop, whoa. And we can't stop, whoa. What is going on, bro? What is happening anymore?
Full sometimes, but I just have a very strong desire for Hispanic, Mexican, Latina. It's so beautiful.
Okay, seriously, like, this is just so fucking weird. This, I mean, it makes her look way worse than him, honestly. I mean, who cares if he has preferences? I feel like everybody has preferences, or, you know, like, types of people that, you know, he prefers over other people, I guess, in terms of, like, who he wants to be with. But the fact that we're posting, like, private videos that he sent to you publicly online, acting like this is some sort of own or something. Like, once again, I said in my previous videos, you are a walking billboard that is telling every person out there that they should fucking avoid you and never be your friend, never date you or anything. For everyone who is in my inbox in 2022 asking if he only likes light-skinned girls, here's your answer. In his own words, he says he has a strong taste and desire for Latina women. And remember when he swore he doesn't use social media? This is literally from Instagram. Oh, and the message wasn't even to me, it was to one of the victims. Harmless? Sure, but more to come. We're not finished yet. Again, with the quote-unquote victims of Cory, how come this hasn't came out yet? And why are we airing shit that is not even a bad look by any means? Oh, he has a preference for Latina women. Oh, dude, ruin his career. Fucking lock him up, throw away the key, life in prison. This is not a smoking gun. It is not. It's nowhere near. If anything, this is just mental illness. Again, guys, why are we engaging? I know this is on a different platform, and most of the people who are leaving, like, you know, these replies and these messages to Panda, I know you're probably not going to hear it, but why? Why are we engaging? Why are we going and harassing and insulting and attacking her? I know she's just awful, but this shit ain't going to do anything. It's just giving her more content, honestly, if you think about it. Like, if you're on TikTok and you come across Panda's account, just straight up block it. I mean, let's be real. I'm going to give a shout out here because there are people covering this situation over on TikTok still. We got multiple creators over there who are still talking about this and what Panda's putting out. So if you need coverage, like, you don't have to go to Panda's fucking TikTok and give her attention. You can first either watch me over here on YouTube, or you can check out a creator who I think is doing a great job covering this situation. His name is Dumbboy Mikey, and he's still covering this, and he's been doing a great job. So if you're over on TikTok, go check him out. Like, there are ways you can still figure out what is going on, and, you know, you can hear the latest drama and whatnot and updates on the situation without having to give them any attention or going over in their DMs and harassing them or leaving comments, disliking videos. Like, come on, guys, it's not that hard. Now, it looks like this is what Panda said on that video that we just watched. Some love for the samurai, more to come, and videos too soon. You definitely make your boy look so immaculate. Like, again, are you making money off of making these huge ass fucking responses and leaving comments and whatnot? Are you making money off of it? Why do you care so much? I guess I will give them one thing. I mean, we have people here from Cory's community who are not even listening to him and what he said. They're still engaging. They're still harassing. Like, these are things that you shouldn't be doing. If you want to make videos on the situation or something like how I am or like how Dumbboy over on TikTok is, go ahead. But leaving these comments is doing nothing but giving her content and whatnot. Love this for him. Y'all are amazing. Cory, come look what you spawned for lying on my name. Leave me alone? Nah, you know you blew the dog whistle. Bro, that's not even true. Cory didn't want people coming in attacking you and whatnot and leaving comments harassing you. He did not want that. If you listen to what he fucking said, I mean, there was a whole lot of yap about how you didn't watch his video. So, I mean, you probably wouldn't know this, but he was telling people, do not do this. Do not engage. What do you mean he blew a dog whistle or something and now his fans are coming and harassing you and they're all in the comments and whatnot? Like, bro, that's beyond ridiculous. Just shut up. Like, it's just like, what else am I supposed to say? This is a lie. This is nowhere near being true. That's not what Cory did. And I would like to say you know it, but I mean, you probably don't because you didn't watch the fucking video. Now, anyways, as I was going through her account, I was going through some of the stories and then I saw this one right here. Oh, and remember, guys, Cory was good friends with David. Oh, okay, bro. bro. I mean, hypothetically, let's say that's true. Are we really gonna sit here and do the whole guilt by association thing? Like, just because you were friends with somebody or whatever doesn't mean you knew like what was going on in their personal life necessarily, what skeletons they had in their closet or whatnot. Like, that doesn't always necessarily mean that you knew what the fuck was going on or you had anything to do with it. So disingenuously trying to link Cory to David, I mean, even though we don't even know if they were good friends or what, or if this is just something she's making up or who knows, like either way, it's still disingenuous as fuck to try and link that and try to make Cory look bad because he happened to potentially be friends with David. And again, we don't even know if that's true or not. I went looking and I have not seen anything that even suggests that they were friends, except for maybe I did find this account that apparently has been like logging the David, you know, unfollows and whatnot, but they don't really prove that Cory was even like following David in the first place. I mean, that could be true and he could have removed the following, but who isn't going to do that when, you know, these fucking huge allegations like murder and, you know, like the Predator stuff come out? It's like, bro, are we just supposed to sit there and keep following them? Or, I mean, even if like, you know, hey, what if I followed David before all this went down and then I found out that this happened and I unfollowed David? Does that mean like I'm a bad person or I happen to be potentially friends with David or something like that and I knew everything that was happening? No, that does not mean that. Like, let's stop trying to implicate other people into the David situation that were not even involved, or at least there was no proof that they were involved. Even if they did happen to be friends with David or whatever, or they collaborated with David, I don't think that they should be attacked. I don't think they should be accused of knowing what was going down just because of that. I think that's highly disingenuous. And the fact that she's trying to run with something like this, let alone with, once again, no proof, is just fucking insane. And honestly, once again, do not give any of these people attention. That's what they want. That's why they're doing this. They're pathetic. They have nothing else going on in their lives. And that does include MavAttack, and especially him because of his circumstances, which we will not be going into. So yeah, with that all being said, thank you guys so much for watching.
He wants to pretend that, oh, he cares about women and he cares about misogyny, and I'm just like, this is the same guy who stumbles into Discord drunk and tries to show you nudes of women that nobody asked for.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So I wanted to come on here because, like I told you guys, I was going to cover everything regarding MavAttack and the Cory drama, and it looks like once again we have another update. And today it's purely about MavAttack, as an anonymous source has reached out to me on my Instagram, and they thought it would be a great idea for me to cover this video. Now, before we get started, if you guys want to hear my raw and unfiltered take about this topic or about other topics that I happen to cover, I've decided to start a podcast-like channel called The Unfiltered Rejects, where me and one of my female friends are reacting to content. And so far we have 3 videos up over on that channel that I think that if you enjoy my normal videos over here on this channel, I think you're going to really enjoy the ones over there because those are unfiltered, more raw, and also you get to hear another person besides just me adding to whatever we're talking about, regardless of whether or not it's us going over a video with a Karen being arrested by the police, or if it's us reacting to MavAttack was a horrible friend. So yeah, make sure you go check that out. I'm going to leave a link in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So a creator who goes by the name of Mr. Moshi put out a video around a few weeks ago when the CoryxKenshin and MavAttack drama was like in full swing. And like I said before, this video is called MavAttack Was a Horrible Friend. And oh boy, is it a video, because I've already reacted to it on the second channel, the one that's linked down in the comment section down below. So I know that this is going to be a fun video. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is Mr. Moshi. Me and MavAttack were friends for a good 4 to 5 years. We made content together, and we just in general came up in the YouTube space together. And really, I wasn't planning on making this video, you know what I'm saying? Because I was playing to be Tarzan and just let Clayton swing up them vines and whatever happens, happens. But at the same time, I'm like, some shit happened, and when am I ever going to get a chance to talk about it? You know what I mean? So I'm like, since he went and already opened a court of public opinion, I'm like, might as well add my little, you know what I'm saying, 2 cents. Because I saw the videos, I watched them, and this character he's trying to morph into and trying to portray himself as it makes me sick, considering it's like I know who this guy is. He wants to pretend that, oh, he cares about women and he cares about misogyny, and I'm just like, this is the same guy who stumbles into Discord drunk and tries to show you nudes of women that nobody asked for, and I'm pretty sure you didn't ask her to show me.
All right, whoa. This is already crazy. This is like the first 2 minutes of the video, and MavAttack's supposed ex-friend is coming out saying that MavAttack was doing some shit like, you know, he was drunk, he was hopping into the VC, sharing people's nudes without consent and all that to people who probably didn't ask for it. Like, also on top of that, it really doesn't surprise me that this Mr. Moshi guy is saying that, like, hey, MavAttack is trying to make it seem like he cares about women and whatnot and the abuse thing and all that. When, let's be real, I think anybody can see it from a mile away, along with MavAttack trying to throw whatever he wants at the wall to see if it's gonna stick, to see if it's gonna tear Cory down in some sort of way, because, you know, Mav doesn't like Cory. Like, it's very obvious that he really does not care, and he really only cares about weaponizing things and using it against Cory to get like a one-up or try to look morally superior and bring down Cory as if like he's a saint or something. Like, nobody ever was going to buy that MavAttack actually cared about alleged abuse victims. Like, let's be real. Come on, let's not be stupid. Let's not stoop down to the MavAttack level. But anyways, let's get back to the video.
And then there's this whole I've been abused and I'm a defender of people who were abused angle that he's using, stringing that panda chick along. I already said how I felt about her, and when the news dropped, I was sick to my stomach. And then, say you do what you do in that situation, you believe the victim. But once you start leaving blank pages in your message for dramatic effect and bringing up his mom, I'm like, all right, yo, you could get out of here too.
Yeah, I agree with this too, because it's like, you would think that, hey, if like all this bad shit was going on, Cory actually abused some women or whatever, and there were victims, you would think that MavAttack would not be sitting here making these like try not to laugh videos. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I'm just gonna play a segment from the Unfiltered Rejects video because I really think you guys should go check it out as more unfiltered thoughts from me. But this is me going to his channel, just showing you guys like all of the videos that have Cory in the title, and then you'll see like there are videos like, oh yeah, the try not to laugh, the CoryxKenshin best moments, like the dark side of CoryxKenshin fans, Cory and MavAttack best moments. Number 2, by the way, number 2. And look at how many views he's pulling on this. He was pulling a lot more before when there was a whole bunch of drama going on. Same with me. I was pulling a lot more views when there was drama going on. But yeah, no, I mean, CoryxKenshin. Cory, what? I might have said something there. CoryxKenshin, like, it's just all CoryxKenshin, bro. It's very clear that he does not care. He does not want to be serious about the situation. And if it ever does turn out to be true that there are like abuse victims here, like, of course, Cory is going to be questioned, and, he's going to get like backlash for that. That is if people, don't look at MavAttack as like a case of like the boy who cried wolf, right? But no, even regardless, even if there is backlash, it's not only going to be towards Cory. Like, as much as we want backlash towards Cory if he actually did some bad shit, I also want backlash towards MavAttack because he is no better in the situation. He is proving it right here, right now.
But it was just so funny to me seeing this dude take the stance of defending mental abuse victims, and then the whole womanizing angle he was taking, like, oh, like you found him in bed with different girls. I'm like, bro, tell the people how you met your wife. This was back before they got married, before she was even his girlfriend. This dude Mav was juggling, he flirted, seduced, and was juggling a married woman with his I guess his girl or his wife, who wasn't his wife at the time. And then when he caught, instead of taking responsibility and being like, hey, I'm a piece of shit. He banded together with his now wife to form the Legion of Doom and cyberbully this woman to the point of physical sickness.
Yeah, if what Mr. Moshi is saying here is actually true about them going on like harassment campaigns and harassing people and not taking accountability, I mean, besides the not taking accountability, if he's going around with his wife harassing people, like if there's somebody who's watching this video right now, like in the off chance that there's somebody who's being harassed or has been harassed by MavAttack and his wife, or even Panda Ninja, like you should really reach out to me on Instagram. I got like open DMs if you follow me over there, or you can send an email to the business email that I have linked on my channel. I think it's also in the description. Like if that is the case, because I mean, I haven't seen proof of it yet. If that is the case and somebody has proof, please come to me. I will air it out. I will air his business out. Like, I don't care. I really don't. If this is happening, I feel like he needs to be exposed for it. I really do.
He knows who I'm talking about. I'm not going to bring up her name because she's off somewhere doing her own thing, being successful, and she probably wants no parts of this. But I tell you that to show you how him and his wife get down. They're no stranger to perpetuating that same mental abuse that they talking about. So, you know what I mean, come on down from that high horse, sir. And then he wants to go on a rant about all this mental abuse he suffered from Cory. I'm like, bro, they just asked you where he was. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, Mav is like a hamster. He's easily stressed, but he's also very easily excited. So I was there when he was complaining about Cory's community, but I was also there when you were happy about all the views you were getting from Cory off of the videos. I was there when you were happy that you could go get a press badge for free because your sub count went up, and I was there when you got your plaque.
Yeah, let's be real. Let's not sit here and act like Mav is not being like this behind the scenes. He most likely is. I think anybody would be like this behind the scenes if they're pulling views like that, like bragging about it. Oh, look at me, I had to blow a video, whatever. Let alone somebody like MavAttack. Like typically I wouldn't sit there and like excessively like brag or even talk about like my videos doing good. Like maybe I'll mention something. Hey, the last video did really good, or I talked about this guy and I got a lot of views. Like maybe I'm gonna say it like that, but I'm not gonna like brag about it. Like I think that's crazy, and it's kind of shitting on whoever you're like bragging to. But yeah, I mean, let's be real. Off of the behavior that we've seen from MavAttack, would not surprise me if Mav's just sitting here behind the scenes. Look at me pulling all these views talking about Cory and using my ex-friend Cory, you know, to make a shit ton of money. Look at me, I'm so cool, as I'm making myself look like a clown.
And I think that highlights who Mav is as a person. Like, he doesn't have anything good to say about you unless he's receiving something from you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking back to how he spoke on Cory, and besides complaining about his community, I never heard him say anything really good. Like, not even like, oh, me and Cory ran through so game and we was killing it. Like, none of that. It was just, man, why his people keep bothering me and da-da-da-da. And to that I have to say, I'll be honest, he's right. They shouldn't have harassed him.
Okay, to say that that's even harassment is a little overboard in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. I feel like I've said this multiple times and constantly throughout this whole drama, and even back in 2023, like there are ways that you can go in studio and you can like block keywords. Like you can put like Cory or CoryxKenshin or CoryKenshin. Like you can add those terms in YouTube Studio and they will be held and they will be thrown in a different place on your studio where you won't see them unless you're like specifically looking for the held comments, meaning all those comments with people leaving comments about Cory, they're never going to show up. And I don't see why Mav couldn't have done that. Like, I have a feeling that he knew that he could do that. You know, there were like the keyword blockers, but he just wanted to use it as a point against Cory and try to make it Cory's problem when it wasn't Cory's problem. Like, Cory has said this himself. I've said this. Cory ain't going to come out every 2 seconds when one little thing happens or another little thing happens and get his community and literally every single one of his fans on a leash. Like, he's not going to come out and do that. He can't. I mean, he just has so big of an audience. Like, even if I were to do something like that and like tell people, hey, stop doing this or that, like, I'm not going to say I have the biggest audience ever because I really don't, but there are things I don't know about until like people come and tell me about them. And even then it's like you're overwhelmed with so many things to the point where it's like, man, I'm not even going to like make an effort to respond to anything or to tell people to not do this or do that, right? And just imagine, like, it's probably 100 or 1,000 times harder for Cory with his huge audience. He's practically famous.
But I'm just like, they're not harassing you now, so what are we doing right now? What's the play? And then when I did get the news that he was actually bad mouthing Cory, I'm not gonna lie, I would have said you were lying until I experienced MavAttack's backstabby, shit talk you behind your back nature, my damn self. So I'm gonna go on a little bit of like a side tangent, only because I think this will explain who Mav is, like his characteristics, and give you a little bit of context on what I'm talking about. So really quickly, I'm gonna bring up my ex-friend D's Nut Steph, and I promise you it will loop around back to Mav. You'll say I'm not just going off on a side tangent for no reason. So a quick little backstory, and this is why I don't talk to Steph today. In 2020, he asked me to be his editor. Gave him my price for, you know, being a full-time editor. It was $2,400. He couldn't pay it. So what did he do? He offered me equity. So I would get a percentage of the channel, the Patreon, any ads or sponsors we did, I would get a percentage. And I came on the channel as a partner. I viewed it as an investment because I'm like, okay, I'm investing in myself, I'm investing my time, and I'm also investing in my friend. Fast forward, because I trusted the word of my friend very naively, Steph wakes up one day and says, you know, that equity I promised you, actually, never mind.
I mean, guys, can we say we're surprised here? Because I know I can't. Like, I talked about this in the Unfiltered Rejects video. It's like, man, if you look at MavAttack's channel, what equity? What equity? He's barely pulling any views. Like, you'll look at his videos and it will be like, oh, 2,000, 5,000, the occasional 10,000 views, right? Maybe he'll have one lucky video that's like 60,000 views, right? But most of them are just like 1 or 2K. And if you know anything about YouTube and, you know, making money off the ads, you would know that, like, if you're gonna have a video like mine the other day on Jack Doherty, like, I don't even care to show the analytics, just put them up on the screen. Like, you ain't making shit from like 1,000 to 2,000 views. So that's why I asked, what equity? And honestly, I'm not gonna like sit here and shame this guy for, you know, doing work for MavAttack for like a percentage of the channel or whatever, and then MavAttack takes back his word. You know, he should have got it in writing so that he could have done something about it instead of being taken advantage. But let's be real, this is MavAttack's fault, and MavAttack is the only one who should be blamed.
And because I didn't get it in writing, he had me dead to rights. I was like, am I being robbed? Because at that moment in time, I already did the work, and it still makes me laugh because to this day, he didn't understand why I would be upset that he had me do all that work under the pretense of equity, and then he pops up and says, hey, no matter what we make, you'll be making $1,200 a month. So obviously I said no. I handed in my last video and I was like, you know what I'm saying, I was done with it. I cleaned my hands of it. So I'm expecting, like, you know what I'm saying, a little time to pass before he finds like a new editor. I'm like, who would agree to that price? It continues like clockwork. And lo and behold, who is behind the helm now? MavAttack. Now I bring this up because I'm like, yo, this jealousy shit that he has with Cory is not specific with Cory. He has it with his other friends. Before I continue, I want to add this detail. At this point, I have not talked to Mav in a year or some change, almost coming up on like a year and a half. And last time I talked to him, we didn't have an argument, a falling out, nothing. Everything was Gucci. The last time I saw him, we were good. So the timing was suspicious, and I didn't want to believe that like he was plotting. I didn't want to believe it was something malicious, but was cemented that, okay, this was something intentional and something very malicious was the smear campaign that ensued afterwards. So I'm gonna keep it real with you. I wasn't even mad that he took the job because I'm like, I washed my hands. I was done with it. I'm not about to work for free. But at the same time, it's like that wasn't enough for him. He not only wanted my job, but he wanted to rip my foundation from under me. And again, out of nowhere, because I'm like, bro, me and you didn't have no beef. Me and Steph might be having a disagreement, but me and you didn't have any beef. But still, that didn't stop him or Steph's head mod at the time, Otia, from going on a smear campaign, telling everybody that, A, I stole from him, which anybody who does content creation and you get paid through PayPal knows it's like, unless I have information to that PayPal, I cannot steal from him. I have to get paid by him.
Now, again, I just want to say this is all of what Mr. Moshi has to say. Like, this is hearsay. But let's be real, I highly doubt that MavAttack is going to respond to him. So I highly doubt we're going to get his side of the story. Like, yeah, if it is true that MavAttack is going around lying about this guy, telling everybody that this guy is bad news and whatnot, just based off of what he said, and Mav misrepresented what actually happened, yeah, that's pretty awful. And I mean, honestly, are we surprised once again? I would like to say probably not. Like, yeah, I've had to deal with similar situations in the past. I mean, content creation is just like it's a crazy place. It really is, because there will be a lot of people who will try to use you and whatnot and then backstab you, and there will be people who lie about you, make false allegations, stuff like that. Like, it's such a crazy place to be. It definitely is not for the weak. And in this case, it's probably better just for you to isolate yourself and, you know, keep a few good friends that you have who will not backstab you or turn on you in a split second because they're told, oh, hey, he potentially did this without any proof or anything, or even hearing his side.
And then just in general, telling people not to mess with me. No explanation. Yeah, I can't lie to y'all. It got bad. It got to the point where it's like mutuals that we both knew started treating me differently. You know what I'm saying? I would start getting random passive aggression from people I hadn't even gotten the chance to meet yet. And I'm like, yeah, man, it got bad. To the point where I had to isolate myself, you know what I'm saying? Like Avatar Aang, I had to just go into that, you know what I'm saying? That ice. And then for 2 years, I stopped talking to everybody, man, because I didn't know who believed a lie, who was harboring, like, you know what I'm saying, some unjustified resentment that I couldn't see. It got to the point where I cut myself off from everybody, including people that I trusted. So, because during that time, and this is why, you know what I'm saying, some of you guys might be asking, oh, why did you say anything at the time? During that time, people came up to me like, oh, is this true? And I explained the entire situation to them, and they didn't give a fuck. So it got to the point where I'm like, yeah, I could open this in the court of public opinion, but what would I really be fighting for? Like, people who clearly don't mess with me for me, who just wanted to get close to me because they thought they could get close to Steph or get close to Mav. Like, Mav said that, oh, he stopped being friends with Cory, but it's like, no, Cory stopped responding to you. He stopped being friends with you because you're a bad friend and you treat your friends poorly when they're not looking. And because you can't mutually and consensually have a collaboration with Cory, you're going about this nasty and negative way in order to force that interaction with his community. Why? My guess is because his girl does OF, and with her just having a baby, she's out of commission. So he's like, baby, even if I look crazy, I'm gonna get this bread. That's my guess. I can't really, you know what I'm saying, explain to you his thought process.
Yeah, once again, it really would not surprise me if what he is saying is 100% correct. And again, it is real funny that Mav is coming out and saying this and that, while supposedly Mr. Moshi is like dealing with all this. I mean, let's be real, you kind of did just explain his thought process, or at least what I would think would be his thought process, because I mean, if you guys don't know anything about MavAttack and his wife, MavAttack essentially just left everything that he had here and went to Canada. This is what I've been told, by the way, from somebody. And since he's living there and he most likely does not have citizenship, he cannot find a normal job. Therefore, he has to go online onto YouTube and try to make some money somehow. And I think he saw this opportunity and decided to pounce on it. And it's pretty fucking sad, claiming that there are abuse victims and then he's gonna act this way and, you know, use this whole thing for clout and money. It's disgusting. It really is. And I'm happy only a select few people, probably like 5 people, genuinely actually like this guy. Now, anyways, I think that's going to be it for Moshi's video. He did say at the end of the video he's probably not going to talk about this again unless like MavAttack says something egregious and he has to respond. And I highly doubt that's going to happen. MavAttack really is not going to pay anybody who is smaller than him any attention. And he's probably just going to continue rage baiting Cory's audience. I mean, as you guys see right here, 2 days ago, the dark side of CoryxKenshin fans, it looks like we have another video to go over and to cover and to clown MavAttack for. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be tomorrow's video if I go and make this video right after this video tonight.
They worship the destruction of anyone who questions him. They sharpen their words into blades, not to defend him, but to feed themselves. This is not a fandom. This is ritualistic sacrifice. Digital bloodlust. A cult of hunger that grows louder every time a body falls.
Somebody call the ambulance.
What did you say?
All right, so before we get into the video, I just want to admit that I made a mistake in the last video. It's not the biggest mistake ever in the world, but it's something that I just wanted to address essentially.
So really quickly, I'm gonna bring up my ex-friend D's Nut Steph, and I promise you it will loop around back to Mav. You'll say I'm not just going off on a side tangent for no reason. So a quick little backstory, and this is why I don't talk to Steph today. In 2020, he asked me to be his editor. Gave him my price for, you know, being a full-time editor. It was $2,400. He couldn't pay it. So what did he do? He offered me equity. So I would get a percentage of the channel, the Patreon, any ads or sponsors we did, I would get a percentage. And I came on the channel as a partner. I viewed it as an investment because I'm like, okay, I'm investing in myself, I'm investing my time, and I'm also investing in my friend. Fast forward, because I trusted the word of my friend very naively, Steph wakes up one day and says, you know, that equity I promised you, actually, never mind.
Yeah, so this was the part that I messed up on, as it actually turns out that Moshi was not talking about MavAttack here. He was actually talking about one of his other ex-friends. And the reason why he even brought this up in the first place was because apparently MavAttack tried making Moshi look like the bad guy, according to what Moshi is saying. And that's why that was brought up. It kind of flew over my head in the beginning, as Moshi does make it seem like that MavAttack was the one who did this to him. But if you listen real closely, it was actually the other guy who had Moshi editing for him, and the other guy didn't pay him. Now, that doesn't mean MavAttack is totally off the hook here, because allegedly, according to what Moshi said, MavAttack was allegedly behind the scenes making Moshi look like the bad guy when that really allegedly was not the case. Now, overall, I just wanted to say, because I'm not sure if MavAttack is going to be making a response to any of this, or Moshi is going to make a response video clarifying some things or whatever, but from the things and the old source material that I have gathered behind the scenes, it turns out that MavAttack and his friends that were a part of that one channel they were running treated him horribly. Now, that's only going to be brought up if Moshi brings it up, or if MavAttack wants to make a response video or something that is just like total bullshit, which it most likely would be. But again, that's not my business. If Moshi wants to come out or if MavAttack says something, then I will cover that too. But anyways, without further ado, besides the last video and the last installment of this drama, MavAttack has yet again decided to come onto his YouTube channel spewing some bullshit and attacking the fans. And honestly, I want to go over that video today because why not? Let's continue clowning this guy. So yeah, without further ado, let's check out the latest installment. Woo, scary. The dark side of CoryxKenshin fans. Friday Fright Night. Holy fuck. Holy cringe. Guys, am I being funny or am I just being cringe, okay? Like, I need to know. Somebody tell me. But no, this is just like corny as fuck. I have a feeling that everybody watching this video right now, you most likely agree with me. But yeah, let's see what this is all about. Besides ripping off Corey's Spooky Scary Sunday series. And honestly, wait, before we even started that, did nobody notice MavAttack and his wife with the child? Like, bro, again, this guy, he's married and has a child, and he's like just making these videos like this, and this is the kind of behavior that's coming out of him.
I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is...
Yap. That's all I'm hearing right now. Guys, he's meandering. What the hell? What is going on?
They call themselves a family. They call themselves the Samurai. But in the dark, this family has secrets. Secrets whispered in chat logs. Secrets carved into comments. Secrets that are shared and reshared until they become law.
Does anybody else know that he's like massively projecting right now? Well, actually, you probably wouldn't know because this isn't like the most public information. I mean, the OGs know about all of this, but no, believe me, the way you guys treated Mr. Moshi is beyond worse than anything that you had brought to the table with any of these videos. And I would love for that stuff to come out and be thrown right back in your face by Mr. Moshi. Not sure if he's gonna do it, but that would be hilarious. Even though it really doesn't matter because nobody really likes you in the first place, so I highly doubt any of that's gonna do any like real damage because the real damage has already been done, let's be real. But no, I guess besides that, I just wanted to add, like, you know, MavAttack, and I feel like I've reiterated this point many times. I feel like I'm like a broken record, I'm gonna be real, but in earlier videos that MavAttack put out, he was making it seem like there were other women behind the scenes that were abused by Cory. Says he's got all that, like that additional information, but refuses to release it and also refuses to be serious. I mean, I talked about this in the last video and I think the one before this. It's like, bro, you're putting out try not to laugh videos and you're putting out like CoryxKenshin best moment videos and stuff like that. Like, it's very clear that you're milking the situation and you're making it honestly seem like you don't care about these alleged victims that you claim to have in the corner. Like, it's just nothing burger after nothing burger. And the fact that people are still watching these videos and giving him any attention, again, guys, let's not do that. Let's not go to his channel and click on his videos and leave hate comments. Let's not do that. That's not something Cory would want, so that eventually this guy can fade into irrelevancy, or at least until he decides to actually release something damning on Cory, because nothing has been damning at all. Nothing has been even an issue for Cory. Nothing that anybody needs to pay attention to. And trust me, if he did actually do something bad, there are going to be a lot of people who do not care. There are going to be a lot of people who are like, you know, it's just Mav hating on Cory again. But there are going to be a lot of people who just sit there and question Cory and turn against him. I mean, that happened a little bit when Panda Ninja's video came out. So if in any way MavAttack thinks that we just hate him or something, I mean, we kind of do. And the reason why is because, you know, he's going against a respected creator. That is partly it, but also at the same time, that's like 5% out of the 95%. The other 95% is just the fact that you're bullshitting and obviously milking the situation. And you continue to keep going at the wrong people, the fans. This does nothing for those alleged abuse victims. And honestly, maybe what your friend said, your ex-friend Moshi, maybe what he said about you doing this weird thing trying to get views while looking like a clown is true. Maybe it is, because that's the only logical explanation in my opinion. But anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit in the video because it's just him going over these comments from people that really do not matter or have anything to do with the situation. They just happen to be fans of Cory.
Every story begins somewhere, and this one begins in denial.
Yeah, and I wonder why that is, Mav. I wonder why. Every story begins somewhere. Oh, really? You mean the Panda situation? Or do you mean the other alleged abuse victims that you refuse to talk about for whatever reason? Because honestly, their story hasn't even started. And I don't know if it's because of them or it's because of you. If it's because of them, that's a whole different thing. But we need to hear more about this if this actually happens to be true. Or honestly, a lot of us are going to believe that you are the boy who cried wolf, essentially. And nobody's going to believe you because you've made a mockery out of the situation.
When truth does not serve them, they manufacture lies. Screenshots edited from conversations that never happened. They'll provide evidence that doesn't exist. Remember you talked to a 14-year-old on May 6th, 2020, got caught, and paid the user to delete the tweet?
Okay, this is just funny. Like, I don't understand this, Mav. You're hearting a comment that literally says, hey, remember you talked to a 14-year-old on May 6, 2020 and got caught and paid to delete the tweet or whatever. Like, bro, why would you? Why? I don't get it. I understand he likes all of his comments for whatever reason, but having your like there, like, dude, it ain't a good look. It looks like you're co-signing what the person said. Even if it just so happens that, oh yeah, you like every single comment without even reading it. Like, I will never never understand it. But let's be real here, guys. If this actually turns out to be a false allegation, I mean, he doesn't deserve this. Despite what he has done to Cory, I don't think he deserves this at all. I don't think people should be falsely accused of things that they never did. And I heard about this allegation around maybe like a month ago, and I looked it up, looked every corner of the internet for the most part, and wasn't able to find any information on it. And honestly, Mav doesn't have to do too much more than say that this is fake, because nothing has been provided, no screenshots. Well, I don't think, I've never seen a screenshot. But no, regardless of how I feel about MavAttack, or, you know, if he's constantly attacking Cory, something that I don't believe should be happening to him is false things being spread around about him. Like, please guys, do not spread false things. It ruins innocent people's reputations. But yeah, anyways, back to the video.
Their accusations spread like wildfire. You're a pedophile. Not because they are true, but because lies are louder. And in the dark, loudness can feel like proof. Death threats, and I'm already so close to the edge. Their fabrications become gospel. Their obsession to mask the truth knows zero bounds. Time and time again, the mob bows to their own creation.
Static is in silence. In the noise, you can hear what they truly want the most. Their deepest, darkest hunger.
Okay, I already know where this is going to go. He's going to find a way to weaponize this against Cory and say that, oh, Cory fans are bad, blah, 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 just because a few of them were going at him, doing some insane things, spreading allegations that had no backing, along with the death threats. And I mean, honestly, when it comes down to those, I'm not saying that you deserve that to happen, but let's be real, bro. When you're going at people, when you're making these videos clowning on Cory fans, like, what do you think is going to happen? Or anybody's fans, what do you think is going to happen? And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, Cory should have stopped them or something. Cory should have been paying attention, told his audience and these people not to go at Mav or whatever. I mean, he kind of already did, but like he addressed in his last video where he addressed all of this, he's not going to go around looking for things that are happening on every little part of the internet just to intervene and like tell his fans to stop. Like, that would be nearly impossible, let alone at Cory's size of like 20 million subscribers.
They tell me to kill myself. They say my child will disappear. They celebrate tragedy like it's a holiday. To them, suffering is content. They trade in threats like it's currency. Death is a trending topic.
Any reasonable person with a working brain is going to sit here and realize, because you're the one who posted that video of like the Daily Mail thing saying that, oh yeah, MavAttack was like killed or whatever. Like, you're the one who posted that on your channel. Any person with a working brain is going to realize that you set this up. And that doesn't excuse anyone's behavior, but you're going at people, you're trolling, you're rage baiting, you're pissing people off, right? Specifically some of these Cory fans, right? And then they're coming back at you, and then you put up this like this YouTube short or this TikTok video, right, that says you died, and then people are just commenting, I wish this was real and whatnot. Like, what do you expect? Like, guys, that's how you know that he is so full of shit, and he's like manufacturing this narrative that CoryxKenshin fans are bad, and, you know, Cory needs to address this. Cory, you know, doesn't do anything about his fan base, which is a lie. And it turns out that he's making these videos where he most likely wants this attention. He wants people to be like this so he can put in his videos shaming Cory fans, and then he says things like they, like terms like they, right? They did this, they did that, whatever, right? Like, I see what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get a one-up over Cory by provoking the fans to say the most insane shit on a video that he made about him, you know, dying, right? Just so he can attack Cory more. Tell me that that is not malicious in and of itself. And honestly, if you ask me, you can't expect anybody to feel bad for you if you're doing shit like this, if you're a rage baiter. Like, this is just like beyond pathetic behavior. And if you ask me, I have no sympathy because Mav is quite frankly doing it to himself.
They worship the destruction of anyone who questions him. They sharpen their words into blades, not to defend him, but to feed themselves. This is not a fandom. This is ritualistic sacrifice. Digital bloodlust. A cult of hunger that grows louder every time a body falls.
Somebody call the ambulance.
What did you say?
They poke, they prod, they wait. They want you to break. They need to hear you scream. And when you do, they cheer. They point. They say, "Look at the monster. Look at the freak."
I mean, hey guys, I don't know about you, but I don't need him to scream. I need him to cry. Fake cry again, because holy shit. Anyways, back to the video.
They tell me to choose my family. They say I should go be a father to my child. Then, in the same breath, they tell me my child should not exist. They spew wishes for my child's death. They target the most vulnerable, a child, a spouse, because that cruelty costs them nothing. They weaponize innocence.
Let's be real. I don't agree with most of the things that people are saying about you, but something that I believe myself is that, and it might be a little bit controversial, but I think your child needs better from you as a father. I really do. Now, I'm not one myself. I never have been one. I don't want to be one, but let's be real. What you're doing right now is not manly. It's not being a good father. Like, I know your child was just born and whatnot, but come on, dude. You're putting out these videos. You're not spending time with your family, or maybe you are, I don't know, but this is just fucking cringe. This is going to be something that your child's gonna like eventually find in the future connected to your name on the internet, and they're gonna be like, what the fuck? And once again, I know it's going to be controversial, but I think your child needs a better father. I really do. I think that, because once again, this is just not it. Like your ex-friend said, you have an insane obsession with Cory and his fans, and it's overcoming you. It really is. In my opinion, it looks like a mental illness, and I really believe you should get some help for it, because none of this looks healthy. None of it at all. No matter how much money you're pulling in, like, it just is not worth it, bro. It really isn't.
Not every samurai is a monster. The crowd is not uniform. Some have apologized. Some admit guilt. Some reached out and said they were wrong. Some confess the sickness inside their own community. They show me gratitude. They say my work helped them survive. They call me a reason they stayed alive. One craved my death. And after speaking through to them, they apologized. And then became my friend.
Not gonna lie, dude, I have no idea who that person is, but it seems like they want to use you. There ain't no way after somebody's wishing for my death, even with an apology, we are not becoming friends, bro. You're fucking weird. Not gonna happen.
People with large platforms, for example, 23 million subscribers, should speak up against atrocities committed around the world, especially if it doesn't benefit them. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, and always denounce genocide wherever genocide may roam.
Okay, this is going to be controversial, but I disagree with this and not what you guys are immediately going to think. I think what's happening over there needs to stop and there needs to be a solution, but it's just not happening. And as much as I believe we need to advocate so that people stop getting killed, I don't think that we should be forcing creators like Cory, literally a gaming YouTuber on YouTube. It's not like he does politics or, you know, anything even remotely related to any of those causes. So I don't feel like he should be forced to have to address any of this or make a video or whatever denouncing it or whatever. Like, I just don't think that's fair at all. And if you really want that, Mav, if you want him to come out and talk about all these things and denounce what is happening and whatnot, and you're not just using it to get people back on your side, then why was the first time you said anything about it on your own YouTube channel with 140,000 subscribers? Why was the first time you said it in a video that is going against Cory's community and Cory himself? Because it just seems like you're using something like this, these atrocities that are happening around the world, to get a one-up on Cory. And I don't think that's fair at all. I think that's highly disingenuous. Now, anyways, the video ends shortly, and I really don't have too much more to say about it. It's just another one of those videos that's trying to throw whatever he can at the wall to see if it sticks. And it's obviously not working, and it's just hilarious. It really is. It's hilarious seeing him just constantly over and over and over again trying to bring Cory down, and he hasn't even really responded once. So yeah, I guess conclusion would be MavAttack needs to stop making these videos and be a father. Well, a better father, I would say. He needs to go spend some time and get away from all this, unless he genuinely has something to show. And based off of all of these videos where he's just muddying the water and whatnot, bringing up irrelevant things and, you know, forming this narrative trying to make Cory look like a bad person as he's provoking Cory's fans to say some heinous shit. Like, bro, you ain't slick. Just quit. But anyways, I guess that's all I have to say.
To say that I have, since the beginning, all of this started with Panda and I's video, I have stated very clearly, very concisely, what my purpose in all of this is for. And because true accountability, true responsibility has still yet to have been taken, I am continuing doing what I am doing. And I will continue to do what I am doing until true accountability is taken, and not accountability that is rooted, in my view, in fabricating text messages in order to fool and manipulate an audience of millions.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hey, funny guy! I got a joke for you! What smells rotten and puts people to sleep?
Noxious gas?
No! Your act!
Word, accountability. Me and CoryxKenshin's best moments is accountability. All right, bro. Like, at this point, it should be abundantly clear that this guy is a liar, and 2, lost in the fucking sauce.
All right, so I know it's been a while. It's been around 7 days or so, and I know you guys have been waiting on my coverage on the drama that just continued over on MavAttack's channel. If you guys are not aware, the last video, well, I guess the one before the last one, we went over Moshi's video on MavAttack, and let's be real, I am gonna say right now, Moshi did expose MavAttack. And as for the updates that happened around a few days ago, when Moshi decided to respond to Mav's response, which by the way, we're going to be going over MavAttack's response before we go over Moshi's response. And honestly, the reason why I didn't make a video solely on MavAttack's response was because I knew I really wasn't going to have too much to say about it. And I say that because this drama between the two, like, there are a lot of things that I don't know. There are a lot of things that are he said, she said type shit, right? Where they're just saying things about each other that they don't show proof about. So yeah, we'll go over what MavAttack said, at least I guess the important things, because I don't want to spend all day on his response. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Around 6 days ago, MavAttack put out his video titled Addressing the Allegations from CoryxKenshin's Fans. Now, something I gotta say about this title and something you're going to realize is, does he actually talk about CoryxKenshin's fans in this video specifically? I know he briefly brought me up, but I'm not a CoryxKenshin fan unless he just assumes that, which, let's be real, if you believe that I'm a CoryxKenshin fan, you are out of your damn mind. Now, Now, I definitely don't hate the guy. I don't even dislike his content. I think he's a cool content creator. I've seen some of his videos, but let's be real, not to hate, Queso is better. I'm gonna be real. That's probably gonna be really controversial, but Queso has always been my #1 gaming content creator. But that's just me. And no offense to Cory. I mean, Cory's still cool, but assuming that I'm a CoryxKenshin fan because he mentions me in his video is just wrong. And I mean, it's also wrong to say that about Moshi because we don't inherently know that Moshi is a CoryxKenshin fan. But anyways, I guess let's get into the video.
Hey, remember you talked to a 14-year-old on May 6, 2020, got caught and paid the user to delete the tweet? This never happened. There is no evidence of anything happening around this time or anything regarding allegations as serious as this. Now, people actively go on campaigns to call me a pedophile. This is false. None of this is true. The second allegation I'm addressing happened on Twitter. This person alleged that I messaged them to self-harm after speaking out in support of Cory when Panda and I's initial video dropped. I do not know this person. I've never spoken to them prior to confronting them for making the fake screenshot.
All right, I'm going to cut it here and I'm going to input my thoughts. Does MavAttack deserve to have these false allegations or what look like to be false allegations coming at him? I mean, I guess that really depends on your opinion, but in my opinion, no. I mean, I feel like this has been brought up many times with like the 14-year-old or whatever that everybody wants to use against you and these allegations. Like, I'm gonna be real, I don't think you need to worry about this if it's not true. Like, I understand that people are going to try and use this against you or whatever, but I mean, you're just lucky that I'm smart enough not to use this against you. And I say that because I'm one of the biggest names currently talking about this, which is actually rare for me because I usually am like the last person to every topic because I'm just busy as hell. But no, if I was like some of the motherfuckers in the fucking commentary community who love throwing false allegations at other people, man, you would have had a lot more to deal with. I'm gonna be real. But I don't appreciate false allegations or just like allegations without backing being thrown at people and have them be ruined for it or have them criticized like they did something when we don't even know if they did something. So when it comes down to if anybody is watching this video right now who has tried pushing these allegations towards Mav without any proof or like, you know, it's just like the whole gossip thing, right? Oh, he could have done this, he could have done that. Stop it. Just stop. Because first of all, you're taking away from what actually matters in this situation and you're redirecting it to something that you don't even know if it's true or not. So once there's proof that comes out, once there's evidence, whatever, right? That's when I would love for people to bring it up because I've looked all around and I have not found anything. So please, let's stop and let's continue.
So the next thing that I'll be addressing are the allegations and also taking accountability for the YouTube video created by Mr. Moshi saying that I was a horrible friend. And we're going to go piece by piece here.
Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is Mr. Moshi. Me and MavAttack, we're friends for a good 4 to 5 years. We made content together and we just in general came up in the YouTube space together.
Just like the title of the video, yes, I was a horrible friend, but I never really liked Moshi and I should have been open and honest with him about that fact. There were numerous times where Moshi would go out of his way to instigate problems between other mutual friends, take information that was spoken to in private and spread that amongst other people, maybe not necessarily to be malicious, but to create discord amongst people. And this is one of the several reasons why I didn't like him and didn't really consider him a close friend at the time. I should have been honest with the things that I didn't like about what he was doing, saying. I harbored a lot of thoughts and feelings about Moshi, thinking that that was going to be the good thing by not speaking up and just letting things slide. It ultimately made things worse. And that's what happens when you're not transparent, you don't open up about the issues that you're having with people. And unfortunately, this is a byproduct of that.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. It's like, even with the Moshi video, it comes down to whether or not you want to believe what they're saying, whether or not you want to believe what Mav's saying about Moshi or what Moshi is saying about Mav. Like, I think we all know who I'm more inclined to believe, and it ain't Mav. And from what I have seen, what Mav just said based off of old live streams, I don't really know if that is the case. But anyways, moving on.
He wants to pretend that, oh, he cares about women and he cares about misogyny, and I'm just like, this is the same guy who stumbles into Discord drunk and tries to show you nudes of women that nobody asked for, and I'm pretty sure you didn't ask her to show me.
I'm very confused at what you mean by this. because I don't recall this ever happening.
See, and I'm not saying that Moshi should have got this and had this on file, like a screen recording or like a screenshot or something or anything like that, right? But when you make baseless claims like that without evidence, sure, I'm more inclined to believe you, but at the same time, it's just really easy to say, oh, no, I don't remember that ever happening. It's super easy for him to deny what you're saying. So I don't know if this is true or false or what.
I'm a defender of people who were abused angle that he's using, stringing that panda chick along. I already said how I felt about her. And when the news dropped, I was sick to my stomach. And then, say, you do what you do in that situation, you believe the victim. But once you start leaving blank pages in your message for dramatic effect and bringing up his mom, I'm like, all right, you can get out of here too.
The video that Moshi is referencing here is his response to the Panda Ninja allegations that came out initially. It was his reply to that, which has been either privated or deleted. But that included spewing vulgarities at Panda Ninja and overall not taking the situation seriously.
All right, Mav, you're the one to talk about taking the situation seriously. Right. This guy just sucks. He really does. And he just proves it as he goes along with every new video that he makes. Talk about being serious. You say some shit like this and then look at your channel a few days later. Like, he's still uploading videos of best moments between him and Cory. Like, why? I don't understand it. This is not being serious. So you're gonna go at Moshi for not allegedly not being serious, because I haven't seen the video. But if it's true what you said about him, like saying vulgarities and stuff like that, well, I think initially when the allegations came out with that video where they were genuinely trying to ruin Cory's career, I think a lot of people had many reasons to be pissed off. Many. Especially when it came out that she said that, like, that never happened. Like, I think there's a reason why people were fucking mad.
Tell the people how you met your wife. This was back before they got married, before she was even his girlfriend. This dude Mav was juggling, he flirted, seduced, and was juggling a married woman with his I guess his girl or his wife, who wasn't his wife at the time. And then when he caught, instead of taking responsibility and being like, hey, I'm a piece of shit, he banded together with his now wife to form the Legion of Doom and cyberbully this woman to the point of physical sickness. He knows who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna bring up her name because she is off somewhere doing her own thing, being successful, and she probably wants no parts of this.
Okay, this portion of the video is going to be relatively lengthy. I had ended my first and last long-term relationship in 2017, and from that point forward, I was single. I was exploring connections and getting to know other people while I was single, and the woman that Moshi mentions in the video happened to be one of them. Her and I had flirted back and forth way before my wife and I were ever a thing. This became awkward when I found out that she was in a relationship, she wasn't married, she wasn't engaged, and she later confirmed this with my wife. So I didn't start seeing my wife until November of 2019, and then we finally got into a relationship on December 7th, 2019. And then I publicly posted us on Valentine's Day in February of 2020. Now, I don't understand if Moshi was trying to say that I was juggling this woman and my long-term ex-girlfriend at the time, or if I was juggling this woman and my current wife at the time. But either way, that never happened because I was single. Stating that we cyberbullied this woman into physical sickness is false. And in actuality, the woman cyberbullied my wife for the simple fact that she got in a relationship with me. This woman reached out to my wife on Instagram to have a conversation about the series of events from when she started talking to me and when my wife and I started dating. My wife was willing to hear her out and understand her until she started deleting messages that were not true. Messages such as getting in a relationship with me and even moving in with me. This woman then proceeded to showcase her guilt by messaging my wife on multiple social platforms, even emailing her, checking in on her, making sure things were okay. This woman then went on to invade our social groups, creating discord and spreading lies about my wife. My wife was antagonized, which caused her to expose this woman's affair publicly. These public posts that my wife made were taken down quickly, but they caused this woman to spiral. So from these events onward, my wife blocked her, and for some time, the woman thought that my wife was posting subliminals about her, which wasn't true.
Okay, as much as I want to say something about this, like, I have no idea what is going on here, nor do I know if what Mav is saying is actually true or not, despite the screenshots. The screenshots really don't show anything. I mean, everything's blurred out and whatnot. I know he wants to keep the identity of everybody, like, private and anonymous, right? But how am I supposed to believe what is actually happening, let alone that I don't have the full story on it? And if you guys know anything about how I feel about Mav, I'm not the kind of guy to, like, blind blindly believe MavAttack, or if he presents his facts one way and it turns out to be something totally different and say not be true. So I don't know how I feel about this. If anybody knows about this, feel free to add like some context down in the comment section down below. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about this.
Now I'm stopping things right here really quick because this video was uploaded 4 weeks ago, and only a few days after it was uploaded, my wife and I went to the comment section to address everything, to speak our minds about what he spoke his mind about. Come to find out, however much time later, that our comments were hidden from the channel, so our voices were silenced for trying to speak up and defend ourselves. At least during the time of me recording this video, our comments do not exist publicly, but if I'm on the MavAttack account and I go to this video, I can still see my comments addressing the video.
Yeah, in his video, because I already watched his video, Moshi's like response video, he talks about why he did this. And let's be real, why are we going to other people's comment sections and like trying to clarify things and defend ourselves in other people's comments and like typing all of that? I will never understand this, or actually maybe I will. And the reason why I say that is because there was little to no incentive for Mav to make this video, and the only reason why he made it was because I posted a video going over Moshi's video, so then he had to respond because my video got a lot of views. That's the only reason why we got a video response on MavAttack's channel. The only reason, because of me. Because Moshi's video got like no views on it. I'm gonna be real. And nobody was really paying attention to it until I made my video. That's why you finally made your video. And I know why you didn't want to make a video on it and you just wanted to respond in the comments section. It's because you knew that you were not going to benefit a lot off of making a video responding to Moshi, because you constantly have to use CoryxKenshin's name in the title, including in this video where you're responding to Moshi that has literally almost nothing to do with Cory. You put Cory's name. Like, are you trying to insinuate that Moshi is a CoryxKenshin fan, or are you trying to insinuate that I'm a CoryxKenshin fan? Because I don't think either are true. I don't know if Moshi tells us whether or not he is a fan, but I highly doubt it. But yeah, no, you're literally like, every video needs to have Cory's name in it to get views. Like, if you really cared about what Moshi had to say about you, you would have made a response video before I made a video on Moshi's video going over everything. But no, instead, you never did that, and you had to wait until I made a video myself to make your response video back to Moshi. Now, anyways, besides the yap, let's continue.
Yeah, I can't lie to y'all. It got bad. It got to the point where it's like mutuals that we both knew started treating me differently. You'll say I would start getting random passive aggression from people I hadn't even gotten the chance to meet yet.
So in regards to myself and Steph's head mod and manager at the time, Otia, going on a smear campaign against Moshi is completely false. And even though Otia and I do no longer speak to each other or see eye to eye on certain things, I can at least speak to Otia's character and say that Otia would never do anything like this. I know that Otia would not go out of his way to spread and smear somebody's name because of a business disagreement. That is just not in his character. And I find it interesting that you've brought up Steph and Otia and the business fallout that you guys had, when if you look up Mr. Moshi's history, this isn't the first time that he's had a business falling out with a group of people.
Yeah, Mav, I'm really not sure if you want to bring that one up, because the way that they treated Moshi when it came down to that group, I mean, I have recordings of it from archives, and once again, the way that they treated him, the way that they were talking to him, yeah, not really sure if you want to bring that one up or say that he's in the wrong for what happened. But anyways, continuing.
Now, while there was not a smear campaign, I never ran around telling people not to talk to Moshi. That simply did not happen. I can, however, empathize with cutting people off, not knowing who to trust, not knowing who's your friend, who's going to backstab you, who's trying to benefit off of your connections or who you know. I can empathize with that and understand that 100%. And that does suck that that happened to Moshi. But as far as my side and everything, I had absolutely nothing to do with any of that.
Well, isn't that crazy? That sounds awfully familiar. And it sounds exactly what you had been doing to Cory. Like, was it not? So how do we know that this didn't happen with you and Moshi when you're clearly doing it to somebody else? And then you're saying it's unfortunate that it's happening to Moshi as you're doing it to Cory. Like, come on, dude, really? Like, guys, this is all fake. This is all him trying to make himself look like he's somehow a good person when he's not. And if anybody believes this, well, don't. Anyways.
So when I see you get on the internet crying mental abuse because your friend won't talk to you anymore and his community used to ask you where he was, when it's like, I have to deal with all that happened. And on top of that, I got to deal with both Mav's people and Steph's people asking me where they are without the situation. It would be proper for me to explain to them that, hey, I don't know, and I don't care because these people are pieces of shit. And now I gotta hold that.
I have never agreed with the behavior of fans potentially reaching out and harassing someone about anyone's whereabouts. For anybody else who thinks that I agree with being harassed and asked about somebody else or myself, no, I have never agreed with that. It's ridiculous and nobody should be bothered. If this is true, Moshi shouldn't have been bothered about my whereabouts either, because I've always been extremely vocal about parasocial behavior on my channel regarding people harassing me about Cory's whereabouts.
I feel like a broken record saying this, but I have to say it again. I mean, it was super easy just to put in a block term like Cory or CoryxKenshin or CoryKenshin, but you refused to do even the bare minimum. And it almost seems like you wanted this to happen so that you could use it as something to throw at the wall to see if it sticks. That's what I believe right now, because you took no initiative to make it physically impossible for people to leave comments asking where Cory was when you could have done that.
So why would I think it was okay for them to bother Moshi? And Moshi, you never reached out or addressed these concerns with me. If you need to talk about this, feel free to reach out to me because I am open to communication.
I mean, let's be real. Moshi is literally doing what you did to Cory, but instead of a smear, in my opinion, I believe it's true. I believe Moshi. I really do. Especially after we get into his response to this response. But anyways.
I know how it feels to know that someone could simply say something to relieve that pressure, but refuses to do so.
What do you mean Cory was refusing to do so? He's been saying shit for the longest time. He said it multiple times, even when he came back and made a brief response to this. Even though it wasn't directly at you, he still responded. He said, guys, stop doing that. Let's stop. Come on. He's done it multiple times. You act like he wants this or he just does not care. But once again, how many times do we have to bring up that when you have a massive audience of like, say, 20 million subscribers, you can't constantly be in every little corner of the internet when one of your fans acts up to tell them not to or to get them to stop, right? Like, this is bullshit. Beyond fucking bullshit.
And ever since that day, 5 years ago, MavAttack has not talked to Strix ever since.
So in regards to Strix, and this is even something that I mentioned in the YouTube comment section that was hidden, is that during the time that we were friends or content buddies, myself, Strix, and Steph decided to make a separate group chat that excluded Moshi because we felt that we couldn't speak honestly or reveal personal information around Moshi due to behavior that he displayed in the past. And so bringing an ultimatum to Strix to choose between myself and Moshi, it was a decision that was rooted in what was going on behind Moshi's back. And while again, I do take accountability for being a bad friend to Moshi, this is something that I couldn't sit with and have Strix continue to be a friend in my life, knowing that he could be a bad friend to Moshi as well. So yes, I cut off Strix, I cut off Moshi, and from my knowledge, Steph ended up cutting us all off, deleted his YouTube channel, and stepped away from the internet.
Yeah, I don't know what to say except for you sound like a piece of shit. You literally sound like a piece of shit. From what you told us, that's literally what you sound like, a piece of shit. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, what was this previous behavior from the past that Moshi had displayed that you guys didn't want to include him in the conversation about? Like, I love how you're keeping it a secret. I love how you're just not saying what it is or what it was, right? Let alone that, like, how long ago was this behavior, like, happening? Like, something that I don't like and something that I don't understand is that a lot of people will view you based off of the things you've done in the past that might not always be positive, and they fail to realize that you can grow and change as a person and not be the person you once were, or do the things that you once did, or make the mistakes that you once did, right? So I'm kind of just curious about this. I'm kind of curious about what behavior happened in the past regarding Moshi and why they didn't want to include him, because what possibly could this behavior be about to go behind his back and have like a conversation about cutting him off?
Even to this day, like Mav said that, oh, he stopped being friends with Cory, but it's like, no, Cory stopped responding to you. He stopped being friends with you because you're a bad friend and you treat your friends poorly when they're not looking.
This is false. Do I believe that Cory held a grudge against me, even though he accepted my apology and said we would move forward from this? Absolutely. But to notice patterns and a very close friendship of mine rot in the way that it did, I had to step away. I had to be the one to cut that off because I didn't believe that Cory was capable of taking that step forward and ending the friendship.
And because you can't mutually and consensually have a collaboration with Cory, you're going about this nasty and negative way in order to force that interaction with his community.
I do want to say that I have, since the beginning, all of this started with Panda and I's video, I have stated very clearly, very concisely, what my purpose in all of this is for. And because true accountability, true responsibility has still yet to have been taken, I am continuing doing what I am doing.
Shut the fuck up. You're such a fucking liar. I have stated very clearly, very concisely, what my intentions are in this. And they are to help the victims. That's pretty much what he is saying. And what did we find out with Panda? Was she really a victim? No, she was not. At least not based off of the things that have came out. And then on top of the Panda stuff, they mentioned that there are more people that Cory abused, right? And to this day, I have heard nothing about that. Nothing at all. No, oh, they're gonna come out in like a week or two or something like that, or we're gonna start making the videos on Cory, like, and we're gonna put them out next week or something. Nothing at all. It's just been CoryxKenshin and MavAttack best moments number 3, number 2, number 1. Like, shut the fuck up. You're obviously stating that your intentions are not actually what they are, and you're lying. That's what you're telling me. And this gives me another reason not to believe anything that MavAttack says, at least not without evidence, because he's fucking lying, and I think everybody can see it.
In my view, in fabricating text messages in order to fool and manipulate an audience of millions. That is not true accountability or honesty, and that is the reason why I'm doing all of this.
Why? My guess is because his girl does OF, and with her just having a baby, she's out of commission. So he's like, baby, even if I look crazy, I'm gonna get this bread. That's my guess. I can't really, you know what I'm saying, explain to you his thought process.
So for clarification, my wife is a financial dominatrix in the kink and BDSM community. And yes, while OnlyFans is one of the platforms that she utilizes for her work, it is not the only platform that she utilizes for work. And not only was my wife not out of commission during her pregnancy, but my wife was the only reason that you guys knew in the first place that she was pregnant.
All I'm saying is, hey man, you already used up all your friends. At least stop using Cory, man, because you're still using him. Still using his community. It's just take. I think even at one point, you tried to ask him to be his editor, knowing he edits his own videos and he takes pride in that. I think at one point you asked to move in with him. So it's like, yeah, this obsession you have, yeah, bro, you gotta let that go.
Yes, there was a point where I offered my editing services to Cory because I felt that I could provide a service to him that could potentially allow him to not have to take as many breaks off of the platform as he was. Cory obviously denied this because he takes pride in editing videos for himself. And not only did I extend my editing services to Cory, but I was actually a manager for CoryxKenshin from March to April of 2017.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe this, guys. I'm gonna be real. You, a manager for Cory. Yeah, right. I don't know. Maybe he's speaking the truth, but why do I give a shit? Oh, right. I don't.
Where I helped Cory gain contact information for video game requests. I helped Cory get verified on certain social media channels. And I even got through the negotiations of getting the CoryxKenshin website. And lastly, I never asked to move in with Cory. And in fact, in November of 2019, Cory mentioned becoming his roommate.
Why am I walking around my den right now and something just fell in the corner? See? This is why we gotta be roommates, bro. I can't live by myself. Wait, what was that? Ah!
Okay, Moshi brought this up too, but let's be real. He was fucking joking there. It's very obvious to tell just by the way that he's talking, because he was talking about being scared or whatever and needing somebody to be there for him to like feel safe or whatever because like shit's just fucking falling or whatever. Whatever he was saying, right? He thinks there's a ghost in his apartment. He said he needs somebody to move in with him so he can feel safe in his den. That's basically what he just said. And he said it in a joking way. So stop the bullshit. He didn't actually mean like, yeah, come move in with me. That was not a serious statement. And you're just trying to twist things, let alone that like this voice memo started like halfway through, so we have no idea what he said in the first like beginning part of the voice memo. So he's obviously trying to help aid this narrative that he's trying to push about how Cory wanted him to move in with him and wanted him to be the manager or whatever.
And then in October of 2020, Cory mentioned moving in with him.
And you can just chill out for like however long you want. You know how I am. Shoot, unless I gotta go somewhere, which I don't, like shoot, you can move in, bruh.
And okay, it looks like he was the manager for a certain period of time, but he's not being truthful with everything he's saying here. Again, was he being totally serious about what he was saying? No. And you can obviously tell, let alone that once again, you're taking something from a voice memo and you're playing it from like a minute and 23 seconds in. Like, dude, just come on, stop it. Okay, lastly, because he wraps up going over Moshi's video, he does do a response to me, just a little tiny response to one of my videos where I'm giving some of my thoughts. And apparently he's claiming that this is not an opportunity for him to make money in response to me saying that he needs money because he most likely doesn't have a job. I wasn't saying that as fact, by the way, but it wouldn't surprise me. And here's what he had to say.
But this is not an opportunity for me to make money. I've stated what my intentions for all of this was at the very beginning, and I will continue to do that. And anything else that comes from this is residual for me pushing for accountability, responsibility, and openness on these public YouTube platforms.
And it's pretty fucking sad claiming that there are abuse victims and then he's going to act this way and, you know, use this whole thing for clout and money. It's disgusting. It really is. And I'm happy only a select few people, probably like 5 people, genuinely actually like this guy.
If any of my videos that are monetized offended or made the victims of these allegations feel uneasy, I would not monetize them. I have gotten permission to monetize every video that features somebody that is not myself, which means Panda has given me her permission and okay to monetize our initial video talking about the hidden life of CoryxKenshin. And in future videos where we highlight other victims' experiences with CoryxKenshin, I will make sure to reach out to them and get their okay on whether I can monetize those videos or not. Because at the end of the day, just like channels such as Breone's, I'm allowed to monetize the videos that go up on my YouTube channel. I just find it funny that everybody claims that after so long, I decided to come back to the platform because I knew I could make money. So what you're telling me is I was sitting around for 2 years, doing absolutely nothing, making no money, living off of my wife, and then I found an opportunity to where I could finally make some money. And I jumped on that after sitting around doing nothing for 2 years?
I mean, oh, brother, he's so funny. I mean, maybe that might be the case. I wouldn't put it past him. But I just wanted to say, nobody inherently has a problem with you monetizing the videos. But when you're trying to push a smear campaign and also claiming that there are other victims that Cory abused, and you're just sitting on that, like, I understand that can take some time, but does that mean you should be muddying the waters, responding to his like fans, or making videos like Cory and MavAttack best moments? Like, I feel like any rationally thinking human being can sit here and realize, like, maybe you shouldn't be making videos milking Cory while not covering these alleged victims that you have who still need to say something about Cory and need to share their stories. Like, you do not need to post. And you can say, well, just like Breone, I can monetize my videos too, and I got the permissions of like Panda, and I will get the permission of the people who eventually come out or whatever on my channel. Like, I understand that. I didn't have a problem with you monetizing, like, say, the hidden life of CoryxKenshin. Never had a problem with that, even though it was full of a lot of like bullshit and false claims and stuff like that. But no, I will never understand using Cory's name in every fucking video while stating that there are more victims that still need to come out in a video on your channel. I will never understand that. And I'm not trying to rush anybody who might be out there, right? But how are you going to sit here and tell me that, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong or whatever? How are you going to sit here and be like that and try to make everybody think like you're some hero or something while you're posting every video, almost every video besides the becoming a dad one and the battlefield one? Every single video has Cory's name in it. Every single video. Like, he wants you to think that he's a hero and he's doing a good deed while he's actively taking advantage of the situation to make money, essentially. Why else is he doing this? And he can sit here all day and say, oh, it's because I want to help the victims or whatever, right? But is he really helping the victims, Panda? Really? You were a victim of a toxic relationship. And if that's being a victim of something, then I guess a lot of us in the real world are victims. That includes me, because I've been cheated on before. But you don't see me sitting here crying about it. Like, I'm sorry. You just don't. A lot of people, it's something that, oh, it sucks. It really fucking does. But you just have to get over it and move on. And it says a lot about you if you can't get over it. I'm gonna be real. Like, if some genuine bad shit happened to you, then okay. But this is not genuine bad shit. We've gone over everything, unless there's some shit that they haven't put out, and it's not what they were claiming it was. It was not abuse of any form. So yeah, I'm gonna have a problem when you're saying that there's more victims that were allegedly abused by Cory. I'm gonna sit here and complain when you're just making filler content and putting out random videos like best moments that do show without you having to say your true intentions for doing this. Like, stop trying to make people think that, oh hey, you're actually doing something good when you're not. You have brought nothing valuable to the fucking table. Nothing at all. And how the hell is anybody supposed to believe you after you continuously keep making a fool out of yourself? And it's not even just to me, it's to everybody who is watching. Like, I don't understand the play here. You want people to believe you, and you want people to believe like the panda story, along with these alleged victims that you have that haven't came out yet. You want people to fucking believe you and them, but you continue to muddy and bullshit the fucking waters. I do not get it. It's either you actually do have victims of Cory, or you don't. And like I said before, I'm hoping you don't, because of the way you've handled everything. Because if you do, they're not going to get anywhere near justice for any bad thing that has happened to them by Cory. Like, there's a reason why if you handle cases, and I know we're talking about like the court of law and whatnot, but there's a reason why if you mess up a case, or if something is not 100% correct, they can fucking throw out the case. There's a reason why that's a thing. And because of things like that, because, you know, things like that do happen and people do get away with the crimes and heinous things that they do, because of that, I think you should be shamed. I think you should be endlessly shamed, because if Cory did do anything illegal, if he did do anything that is even morally bad, you fucking ruined it, bro. You ruined it before anybody was able to come out about it. So yeah, honestly, fuck you for that. You do not care about the victims. You've made it blatantly clear. You can say it all you want to everybody. You can like preach to the choir, but that doesn't mean it's true, because frankly, it's not. If anything, you're a grifter, and you made it clear that you're only doing it for the money. And I don't care what you say, you made it very fucking clear. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into Moshi's video, because I'm done ranting about MavAttack. I watched Moshi's video. I think it's a really good video, and he also has somebody back up what he's saying. Somebody who was involved that you'll hear about in just a minute. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at a response to MavAttack by Mr. Moshi.
All right, let's get this over with, because frankly, I don't care anymore. And you look at your comment section, they don't care anymore. But nevertheless, I can't let you call me a liar. And after this, me and you will have no more interactions until we both hit that dirt. Real quick, very nasty work using Cory's voice messages like that, but I'll get to that at the end. So to debunk the things you said in your video, I'll be using a combination of screenshots and also word from my friend Strix, who was a part of our 4-man friend group, who was a part of Steph's financial team, and who was there for your interaction with that young lady. And before you go and try to invalidate what he's saying, keep in mind that you made reference to him in your video, and 2, I caught you doing reconnaissance on him. Here I have footage of a bot asking if I still talk to Strix, and then when you discovered my video, that same bot commented at the same time you did. Also, I want to point out that you guys use bots to upvote your comments. How do I know that? Because your likes when I banished you off my channel were the same dislikes on my video, roughly within that 17-19 range. Yeah, dummy accounts is definitely a strategy of the dynamic duo, or I guess the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, that's something that I have not talked about yet, but believe it or not, I've heard it multiple times, including from Mr. Moshi right here. MavAttack has these bot accounts that he'll either repost his videos as like shorts or like, you know, videos praising what he is saying, or just using them to beef with people online. And I guess we can't say that this is 100% true, but like Moshi said, at the same time, these accounts posted, and you'll go to some of these channels and you'll see the only thing that they post about is praising MavAttack. So yeah, guys, I guess we have the MavAttack bot allegations.
But with that, let's get started.
Just like the title of the video, yes, I was a horrible friend, but I never really liked Moshi, and I should have been open and honest with him about that fact.
I'm not gonna lie, you off to a bad start, because admitting in your cold opener that you're capable of smiling in somebody's face and hating them behind their back kind of tracks, you know? So I don't know where you were going with that, but Yeah, bad start, bud.
There were numerous times where Moshi would go out of his way to instigate problems between other mutual friends, take information that was spoken to in private and spread that amongst other people. Maybe not necessarily to be malicious, but to create discord amongst people.
And again, I keep hearing you use this angle where I was a problem starter and I keep instigating problems, but I want y'all to know that he never makes one example of things that I've done to problem start.
Yeah, exactly, Moshi. And I really don't know if you're going to be watching my video, but if you are, the reason why he can't show anything and it's just like hearsay, right, is because it wasn't true. I mean, I've seen some of the archives of when you were kicked out of Gaming Illuminati. Like, again, not sure if you're watching the video or not, but I watched some of that and they were treating you like shit, bro. So if you have to make another response for any reason to any of this, you might just have to pull that out. That is if you still have like archives of that. Which there are archives of that, by the way. But no, he's trying to frame you as if like you're the bad guy when really he is. And I just find it funny that like he wants to say he's against like, oh, talking behind people's back and shit like that, when literally he did that to fucking Cory and he's still on Cory.
And even in it, he contradicts himself by saying, oh, I wasn't malicious, but I caused discourse. So I'm like, just say you hate me, man. It'd be a lot simpler than trying to like, you know what I'm saying, beat around the bush. You hated me and you were willing to hide that behind my back instead of like coming to me and explaining your problem with me.
Very confused at what you mean by this, because I don't recall this ever happening.
Okay, you say you don't know about stumbling into Discord drunk and trying to show me news. And I should have expected that because, hey, I don't record shit to use against my friends at a later date. That's that guy's bag. But, you know what I'm saying? We'll chalk this up to a believe me if you want, an alleged if you want. But my hope is as I debunk a lot of these other things, then you'll be more susceptible to taking my word for these things. Because things like that are things that I experienced in passing. I didn't think immediately, oh, record this to use against my friend at a later date. You know what I mean? But I'll let you have that.
The video that Moshi is referencing here is his response to the Panda Ninja allegations that came out initially. It was his reply to that, which has been either privated or deleted, but that included spewing vulgarities at Panda Ninja and overall not taking the situation seriously.
I deleted that TikTok because I watched Cory's video and he said he wanted no hate going towards Panda Ninja. And unlike you, I respect people's wishes. Also, when I made that video, it was more so a heat in the moment because I was empathetic to the fact that Cory was being put in a situation where people thought the worst of him and they weren't going to believe him, whether he was guilty or innocent.
And what's crazy about that too is at the time Cory wasn't even able to make a response. Like he just didn't do that, and he was getting grilled for it even though nobody heard his side of the story. Like, I totally understand why Moshi put out the video that he did, and I also understand why he took it down, and it was out of respect for Cory. Totally understandable.
And obviously I've been in a similar situation, so yeah, I empathized. I want to make it 100% clear. I did this because I did not expect Cory to survive that situation. In all respect, nobody does. You've been online, nobody survives that situation, whether you're innocent or guilty. But you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to the samurai. I want you to put a finger down if you didn't take this seriously at first either, because who announces something like that in a put a finger down challenge? I may not believe what she's saying personally, but that shouldn't stop her from getting what she wants to say out. So the Panda Ninja, I apologize for, I guess, sticking my nose where it shouldn't have been. But yeah, like I said, heat of the moment type of thing.
It seemed to me there was always someone he could fall back on. I recall one situation where Cory had a random woman come out to his house when his girlfriend came over unannounced and awkwardly found Cory and the woman in his bedroom. This is just a subtle glimpse into how Cory treats his relationship with women. In my view, Cory often disregarded the emotions and boundaries of people around him, especially women.
See right there, you said I, which means that's your thoughts. And I brought that up not to vouch for it because I don't know Cory like that. But I brought that up more so to show that this is the wrong messenger to be delivering this type of message. The hypocrisy was insane. A womanizer is a term used to describe a man who has a pattern of pursuing and engaging in sexual relationships with multiple women.
I was single. I was exploring connections.
You said it yourself. You were pursuing multiple women, bro. That's womanizing. And you were pursuing them at the same time. And before you say we didn't do anything sexual, I just want to point out the fact that you were not pursuing this woman to hold hands.
Like, in all fairness, I know that Moshi is just saying this and, you know, the whole hearsay thing, right? But Moshi is fucking destroying MavAttack. This is crazy.
And getting to know other people while I was single, and the woman that Moshi mentions in the video happened to be one of them. Her and I had flirted back and forth way before my wife and I were ever a thing. No, there was no Legion of Doom. She was not run off the platform, and she in fact has quite a large platform now, while my wife at the time did not. No, we didn't cyberbully a woman into physical sickness. Because she couldn't be in a relationship with me, she targeted my wife.
Quite frankly, I don't like how you guys are painting her out with these screenshots to be like some kind of obsessed weirdo and not someone that you spent time manipulating. But I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'm going to pass it off to Strix because he was there when it happened.
So yeah, we have Strix coming on here to talk about that. And honestly, props to Moshi, props to Strix for this, because I mean, having somebody else back up the story who was involved, right, is always a good thing. It's more than just putting up some random screenshots that are censored to try and prove your point. But yeah, no, without further ado, let's get into that.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Strix, and I am here to corroborate Mr. Moshi's allegations, some of them, as well as to address the 2 times MavAttack specifically addressed me, and these points are going directly to him. So, number one, to address the allegations, I can speak towards the young lady. The young lady, in particular, had a conversation with me at the time. It was a private conversation where she did mention that she had been hospitalized and that her current health concerns had been exacerbated due to the stress and harassment of the situation. They had pushed her to the point of needing to be in the hospital for upwards of a week.
I did receive a lot, an onslaught, harassment from the Cory comments for years and years and years. And if Moshi was as close to me as he claimed that he would have noticed how much this affected me mentally, how much time I had to step away, how much time I needed for myself and my mental health. Even other creators around us, other mutuals, noticed all of this happening.
Yeah, let's get one thing clear. I was a better friend than you probably deserved. And yes, you're right. I never understood back then why that stressed you out so much. But I understand now that if you're the narcissist that I think you are, why mentioning someone else, regardless of whether they're helping you or not, would set you off. And I want to double down. You're right. I don't understand the logic of, hey, this person gave me my entire audience, but why are they mentioning that person and complaining about it? I want to point out that Cory probably had other creative friends who were going through this, and none of them reacted like you did.
Exactly. Even if it weren't the case that, you know, he was just trying to use this as a point against Cory to try and make Cory look bad and be petty and whatnot, it obviously shows that he's, first of all, soft, and second of all, doesn't want to listen to anybody who's telling him, hey, here are some things you can do to stop the quote-unquote harassment that is coming your way.
Harassment persisted for years, and then when I tried to come back to my YouTube channel and resume making videos, even though Cory and I were not associating anymore, I continued to receive comments about Cory. So a lot of people ask questions about why did you make a video in 2023 about why you and CoryxKenshin are no longer friends anymore, and that is the reason for that.
Any harassment you're receiving now is for the things that you're doing now, so that's on you. Because I think multiple people have pointed this out. YouTube has stuff for you to combat that now. And I think they've had that for a very long while. I want to point out something blatantly obvious. You were not the only content creator friend Cory had. And you were not the only one going through your definition of harassment. But you were the only one talking shit behind his back. And you were the only one making videos trying to ruin his reputation.
This video was uploaded 4 weeks ago, and only a few days after it was uploaded, my wife and I went to the comment section to address everything, to speak our minds about what he spoke his mind about. Come to find out, however much time later, that our comments were hidden from the channel, so our voices were silenced for trying to speak up and defend ourselves.
And you're only replying 3 weeks after that. And only because Breone covered it, so you had to respond. And you're right, I did block you on my channel because you did come into my comment section doing stuff like this. This whole bully routine you guys got going on, this Legion of Doom stuff, yeah, I'm not gonna put up with that. So yeah, I blocked you. And yes, you did leave a comment explaining your side, but also I understood your strategy. You were trying to take advantage of the fact that I have a smaller viewer base. You did that in my comment section, and you did it on your TikTok story, because you don't have a lot of viewers on TikTok.
Yeah, it's just so funny. He wants to like deny having this Legion of Doom where he's going behind the scenes harassing people and stuff like that. And in some cases, I've heard allegedly stalk people who he doesn't like. Like, just to bring this up again, who the hell is going to fucking believe anything you have to say, or the victims that are going to be coming out, I guess, in a video on your channel eventually, whenever the fuck that's gonna be? Like, who the hell is gonna believe anything you have to say why, with all of this shit coming out against you, on top of the milking and on top of angering his fans, angering Cory's fans, like, who is going to believe you? Nobody.
But the people you didn't want that put in front of were the small subsection of Cory's fan base that you could rage bait. And you didn't want to disrupt that because you wanted to continue collecting those views. And I understood this, so I gave you a condition. Put this on main so everybody can see and everybody can decide how they feel about it with all the information present. And you didn't do that. Instead, you waited 3 weeks and only responded because Breone posted. So if you're upset that I didn't allow you to play your game, sorry, bud. And the profile picture and the name you're trying to blur out is your wife. And I'm just saying, claiming you guys don't form the Legion of Doom to harass people and then forming the Legion of Doom to harass people in my comment section, not the best look.
So I agreed to come on as an editor to help Steph get his videos out, and that was simply because I saw that a friend could use the assistance on his end, and I could also use the funds on my end, and that was strictly a business decision between the both of us. There were no personal thoughts in taking this editing job in regards to Moshi being the previous editor. I was not thinking about Moshi when taking this job.
Okay, you're saying it wasn't personal and it was just business, yet in the same video, you admit to hating me and talking shit behind my back in side chats. And last time I talked to him, we didn't have an argument, a falling out, nothing. Everything was Gucci. The last time I saw him, we were good.
That's true. The last time I spoke to Moshi, we didn't have an argument, we didn't have a fallout.
And in that same line of thought, you expect me to believe that the second I quit my job, you moving in wasn't in any way personal. I'm supposed to believe that the same jealousy that made you think that you were in any way responsible for Cory's success, because let me get this straight. Skits before gameplay, the same line of thought that made you think that level of jealousy didn't rear its ugly head towards me. All right, Mev, let's say that's the truth, right? It still doesn't negate the fact that without any problems between you and me, without any falling out, you try to separate me from my friends and isolate me. And that is personal, no matter how you try to frame it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't understand why he would admit to like going behind your back and like having a call with like both of your best friends on whether or not, you know, you wanted to keep talking to Moshi or not. Like, I never really understood that. Like, what an awful video responding back to Moshi. And I can't even say I'm surprised.
You came out, and in the conversation, we talked about our lives. We talked about where we are and where we are going. But beyond that, you gave me an ultimatum that I had to remove 4 people from my life, guaranteed, no questions asked. The first 2 were mutual blocks. They'd already blocked me, but you didn't want them having access. We had that conversation. I had no problem blocking them. I said as much to you. The last 2, Moshi being one of them, were included in this conversation, which is why that why and have you talking to Moshi situation came up. I know you can talk to Moshi. You can go to him and speak to him. You gave me a response that indicated that no, and no, I don't have any plans to. I don't have a need to. There isn't a reason for me to go and talk to him. And the reason you gave me for why was that he was a bad person. They were both bad people, these other 2 people. And then we continue our conversation where we talked about kind of our philosophies about people and life. That led to a few days later, me sending a message saying, hey, I am not blocking Moshi and this other person. I don't think they're bad people. In fact, I think they're good people.
Yeah, that might actually be something that Mav has to respond to if he really cares, or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. We'll see what happens after I put out my video. But either he has to say something about that and prove that this is not the case, highly doubt, or he just has to shut up and say nothing. But who knows what he's gonna do.
So in regards to myself and Steph's head mod and manager at the time, Otia, going on a smear campaign against Moshi is completely false. And even though Otia and I do no longer speak to each other or see eye to eye on certain things, I can at least speak to Otia's character and say that Otia would never do anything like this.
Yeah, I hate to burst your bubble, bud, but yeah, you're not the best example of character, and you're definitely not the best judge of it. So I'll say this here first. I'm not a fan of recording your friends or taking screenshots of their conversations, but for this, I have no choice but to make an exception. So here I have a screenshot of an end of friendship conversation me and Steph were having. It's filled with a bunch of drama, a bunch of business stuff, a bunch of end of friendship stuff, but it also has proof that I not only brought this up to Steph, but Steph confirms that I brought this up and confirms that this is the second time that I brought this up about Otia running around trying to smear my name.
When if you look up Mr. Moshi's history, this isn't the first time that he's had a business falling out with a group of people.
Wow. Holy smoke bomb, Batman. I actually think it's funny because towards the end of that friendship too, I was isolated and badmouthed. So thanks for sharing with the class that you knew I went through that before, and yet you still decided to do what you did.
Yeah, and he's not lying here either. I've seen the evidence for this. I've seen the archived live stream recordings because for whatever reason they thought that this would be a great idea to do on live stream. Idiots. But no, I'm assuming he's talking about Gaming Illuminati. It was a group that they had where they would like play games or whatever. I'm not too familiar with it, so I can't like comment all the way on it. But from the archived live streams of them like kicking him out, they were not treating him good at all. And I was kind of hoping that he would bring this up, and he somewhat does. He doesn't go into detail though. But if he really wanted to get Mav, I mean, he could have just like maybe played some of that footage, showed, you know, where he was being badmouthed by his friends at the time. But it is what it is. But he is not lying about that.
There was nothing that Steph and I could allegedly come together to smear you, to gain from you. And in fact, both of our channels were significantly larger in size than yours, so what was there to gain? There was nothing to benefit off of doing a smear campaign against your name because of a business fallout with a mutual friend.
I don't know the point you're trying to prove because, yes, you're right. I was a smaller channel, and yes, you're right. You had nothing to gain, but you still did it. You just proved what? That you was out here being evil for the love of the game? But the fact still remains that you did that.
Why would I think it was okay for them to bother Moshi? And Moshi, you never reached out or addressed these concerns with me. If you need to talk about this, feel free to reach out to me because I am open to communication.
Reach out for what? I hate when people do this when they get caught being a piece of shit. Like they try to pretend to be a sensible person. Let me make one thing clear. The hatred that you had behind my back all those years is mutual now. I don't want to converse with you. I don't even want to be doing this video right now. And like I said before, I don't want to hear from you again after this. Till the day we die. It's fuck you.
Damn, Moshi is standing on business. Holy shit. I mean, so far in this video, we've had like the most insane defense that I've seen in a while. And props to Moshi for this because Mav is being destroyed. Holy fuck.
In regards to Strix, and this is even something that I mentioned in the YouTube comment section that was hidden, is that during the time that we were friends or content buddies, myself, Strix, and Steph decided to make a separate group chat that excluded Moshi because we felt that we couldn't speak honestly or reveal personal information around Moshi due to behavior that he displayed in the past.
Again, he keeps mentioning this behavior of mine, but never gives examples. I'm like, bro, just say you hate me. And as for the group chat, I'll let Strix talk about it.
The group chat allegations, if you want to call them that. The group chats did exist, but I think the context of the group chats has to be somewhat explained. They initially existed because of a handful of slip-ups that were way earlier on in our friendship. Over the course of, I think, a few years. And Mav felt like he could not speak freely.
I'm sorry, you lost me at years. So we're talking Mav is thinking of things that happened years ago, and he's using that to justify why Moshi shouldn't be a part of the conversation. That's beyond ridiculous. And I think everybody here realizes that because, like, why? Some slip-ups that happened in the past as of, like, years before. Like, that just sounds really disingenuous. And like Moshi is saying, it honestly seems like MavAttack hated Moshi.
I did a poor job and was a bad friend, and then not communicating that I did not feel the same way. I felt like Moshi occasionally had made a mistake, but it was so few that I couldn't even name them all. But if Mav felt differently, he created this space. One of those group chats I can no longer see. I believe MavAttack made them. He has since seemingly deleted his Discord account, and so I no longer can see those chats. That's number one. The second one that I can find and still have access to was me, MavAttack, and These Nuts Steph planning a trip to TwitchCon in 2019. There isn't really any speak of why specifically this chat is the space that it is and name what it is, but in that group chat, I'm able to go back and see where, boom, I added and we were able to talk about everything that was going on there and like getting an Airbnb and so on and so forth. That's what that message seemed to be about before it devolved into banter back and forth and sharing memes and making jokes with one another, as it happens in friend group conversations. I've already spoken to Moshi about this. When Mav brought it up, I didn't hide behind it. And should I have told him something sooner? Yes, you should. I should have addressed it. But I also realized that I didn't held the same resentment that Mav did at the time. It was never that serious. It was never that serious between me and Moshi for one major reason. He and I had an argument before, a 2-hour heated argument on stream about something fairly frivolous. But what it taught me was that I can talk to Moshi. I can speak to Moshi. As long as you're willing to, at the time, come out, speak, say how you feel, everything usually works out. He's a very open and honest guy. This is regarding our final conversation. And this is why I said this is all directed towards Mav directly. What you allege in the video, I disagree with fundamentally because that is not how the conversation was presented to me nor communicated to me. If your intention was to check whether or not I was a good friend to Moshi or a good friend to you, what came across as an ultimatum that the only people that were allowed to be in your sphere were people that agreed to your demands. I think that your philosophy about viewing people as NPCs, even in your own, and you as a main character, that sentiment was negative, wasn't good. It wasn't okay. Being a little bit older now, I get what I think you were trying to communicate, but at the time, it came very much across as the only people that matter are the people that I deem that matter. And so, again, not holding that to you. Now that I've said all of that, I will just say the door was never closed. You can always hit me up. Things aren't the same. I don't think you want that. I know that I don't need that. But if you want to have one final conversation, we can always do that. I'm always down to just wish you the best. You know, it's always been love since that day. The last words we had to each other were about unhooking our PlayStations and wishing the best to each other. It hurt. It caused a lot of pain for a couple of years, but I've since moved past that. And I wish you, your wife, and especially your child, a ton of good sentiment. I hope that y'all live long and prosper.
Man, W Strix for this, honestly. Because in my opinion, I feel like Moshi. I feel like, yeah, no, fuck this guy. But yeah, Strix was just genuinely, like, respectful about everything and even wished Mav and his wife and child a good and prosperous future. Like, that really does say a lot about Strix.
If Strix was capable of being a bad friend to you, and then in turn choosing to continue to be your friend instead of taking accountability or simply cutting you off and distancing himself from the relationship, then yes, I couldn't continue to be friends with Strix, knowing that he was capable of doing that towards somebody that he potentially didn't like in the first place.
So let me get this straight. Your logic is I can be a bad friend of Moshi, but if Strix is a bad friend of Moshi, then I can't trust him. Yo, I swear to God, yo, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm tired of this shit. It's like you guys don't give a fuck and I don't give a fuck anymore, and then I have to sit through stupid ass shit like this.
To say that I have, since the beginning, all of this started with Panda and I's video, I have stated very clearly, very concisely, what my purpose in all of this is for. And because true accountability, true responsibility has still yet to have been taken, I am continuing doing what I am doing. And I will continue to do what I am doing until true accountability is taken, and not accountability that is rooted, in my view, in fabricating text messages in order to fool and manipulate an audience of millions.
Word, accountability. Me and CoryxKenshin's best moments is accountability. All right, bro. Like, at this point, it should be abundantly clear that this guy is A, a liar, and 2, lost in the fucking sauce. So I know that a subsection of Cory's community likes drama, but honestly, y'all really should take his advice and just not engage. Honestly, you guys shouldn't be engaging in this video either. And honestly, I don't care if you guys don't, because like I don't want to do this. Like, this I'm literally putting together just so he can't say I'm a liar.
And yeah, honestly, I have to agree with what Moshi has to say here. This has been going on for way too long, and I've said that in the previous few videos that I made. Now that we're going on to the 10th video that I'm making on this, and hopefully literally the last, like, everybody just needs to move on, and I'm saying it myself, but who knows at this point. I mean, Mav's gonna continue doing his shit. I think I'm gonna move on to better topics, let's be real, because this has been a shit show. Now, anyways, with that all being said, that's where Mr. Moshi's video pretty much ends. I mean, he adds a little bit more, nothing too important, and then he wraps up his video. And honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was a really good video, and it quite frankly destroyed MavAttack. Who knows if MavAttack will respond? Who knows if I will cover it again? Who knows what's going to happen? But there's going to be a point moving forward where we're gonna have to move away from this and talk about other things. So yeah, I really don't have too much more to say about this except for MavAttack is beyond pathetic.